Veteran skills with all those young kids in there the other day seemed like a challenge.
It was definitely a challenge. You know, we had a lot of young talent, you know, come out and play, and they actually did a pretty good job, you know, coming out, especially their first game being Texas, and then they're out there with the big guys. You know, it's definitely a challenge, you know, just doing that. So I felt like everybody that was young, and especially our older guys, you know, we all contributed.
Coach Stoops talked about your ability to communicate with the younger guys effectively in a stressful situation. What goes into that for you from your perspective?
I mean, from my perspective, I mean, it's tough, you know, trying to get yourself lined up, and on top of that, you know, making sure that, you know, they're doing their responsibilities, you know, doing everything they're supposed to be doing. You know, you're calling out the defense, and, you know, it's a lot just in one play, you know, especially covering those young guys. But, I mean, majority of them know what they're doing, and, you know, it's really more the communication of making sure that everybody's, you know, all in one, you know, all intact.
They responded so well for the most part. So what could a day like Saturday mean for Will Sunderland here going forward?
Going forward, I mean, you know, not even just Will Sunderland, just all the young guys in general. I mean, they know that they're only one play away, which we've told them that. You know, we always have that chant, we too deep. You know, that basically goes into, you know, what happened this past Saturday. You know, we had two guys get injured, you know, Khalil Houghton and then Ahmad, and, you know, we needed those guys to step up, and that's exactly what happened. They did a good job doing it.
What about you, your role? You nickel, played safety. What did the injuries affect what you were going to do?
I mean, it affected a little bit what I was going to do. You know, I still stayed nickel, played strong safety. I even played free safety. I played every position that you could ask for as far as DB, even corner. So.
Which one do you like playing the best?
I'm just a defensive back. You know, I love it all.
How tough was it seeing Micaiah's injury, and especially the way the play developed and what happened? Just your thoughts on that as well.
You know, I didn't really get to see the play. I was on the other side of the field, but whenever I seen it, or whenever I got the chance to look at it on film and stuff like that, and I seen that he was down, you know, I know it affected him pretty hard. I know that he's going to be well. You know, he's going to do well. He's basically just going to try to, you know, keep praying, and, you know, we're all going to pray for him and making sure he's in good spirits, and hopefully he has a fast recovery.
What do you attribute the improvement, not only with the young kids who came in, but even the front liners? It's been a remarkable improvement for the most part. I mean, you're still getting beat a little bit, but how's that come about?
As far as just the DBs?
The deep ball.
Deep ball threat?
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's just one-on-one battles. I mean, we do a lot of one-on-ones in practice, so we're getting better each and every day. So winning our one-on-one battles, staying in coverage, and you know, basically just having good eyes and playing with good technique. You know, that's the only thing that we can teach and harp on. You know, the rest is for itself.
You talked about communication. Is it made more difficult by the fact that about half your defense right now is named Jordan?
No, it's
nicknames, last names. What do you?
a lot of nicknames. You know, you're right. We have a lot of Jordans. We also had a lot of P's. You know, you had Purnell, you had Parrish, and then you had Prentice. So it's like wow. You know, I don't know how we end up with so many P's and then so many Jordans. I don't know how that happens, but. You know, we get through it together. You know, the communication is definitely a vital key, you know, to basically playing fast and being all intact into one. And I feel like we've been doing a pretty good job of communicating.
Coach Stoops talked several times about last year about that you guys going to the airport for the K-State trip, and what a challenge that was, and yet it's like a turning point in the season. Drew everybody together. What are your recollections about that time?
I think all that was true. I felt like we all, you know, kind of grew together as one. We're all, you know, talking, you know, communicating as one, and basically, you know, when you have a team there at the airport for so long, I mean, you really have nothing else to do but to talk to, you know, your friends and your teammates, which were already close, but you just start to grow even more closer whenever you're in that situation.
I understand the food was pretty good on that trip.
Don't tell Coach T about that though.
Can you talk about the challenge of this could be a trap game because you're up for the Texas game, you win it, Kansas State's playing well, they're going to be up. It's not like last year. I just remember when you went to Manhattan, you guys were ready to go. Can you talk about the challenge of making sure you don't slip this week?
I mean, to me, it's just it's another challenge. It's the next game on our schedule, and all we can do is basically prepare, just like we prepare for Texas and everybody else that we have played. You know, really, it's going to be on us. You know, I don't think that we're going to take Kansas State lightly at all because they're not a light team. They're not a bad team. They're a good football program, and especially from Bill Snyder, coaching those guys up, we're definitely going to have to be ready and have our hats on.
Stephen, are you glad you're not a cornerback the way the game's developed? Jordan plays a great game, but they get him on 2 deep balls, and everybody's throwing deep so much that those guys are always under the gun.
I mean, I like to have the impression that I'm all around DB. If they want me to play corner, I'll play corner. If they want me to play safety, I'll play safety or nickel. All the positions that occur. What happened with Jordan, I mean, that stuff's going to happen when you're a defensive back. You just have to have short-term memory and just keep on playing your game.
Were you surprised they kept on going after Jordan instead of going after the young guys at the other corner?
I mean, I could say I was a little surprised, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like every team is just, they're going to go for whoever they're trying to get the ball to. And, JT's covering their best athlete, quote unquote, best athlete. And he did a great job of doing it. They're going to attack him, just like they're going to attack everybody in the secondary, in my opinion.
Are you detecting the teams all across the league are throwing deep more than they used to?
I feel like that. I don't know if it's just because people are going for the home run ball more or for beat. I don't really know what it is, but we have to be ready, and we have to be ready to cover it.
You talked about getting everyone in the position, making sure everyone's okay, but in the end, when the play develops, when the ball snaps, you have to trust those guys that they know what they're doing, don't they? And just put your mindset on your job.
Exactly. Basically, that's all it all comes down to is basically trust. Basically, can I trust you on the field with me as far as, as a defense goes? Defensive line, we rely on them to go get a rush. They rely on us to cover the guys. So, whoever you're playing with, you have to trust, and, I think we've been doing a pretty good job of that.
You had 3 teammates this year who decided they're not going to play football anymore because of concussions. I'm curious what the conversations have been like with those guys who are your teammates. They're obviously making a really tough decision. What do you talk to those guys about? What are other guys talking to them about as they do that?
I mean, just with the concussion thing, I mean, we all know it's serious. It's a serious protocol. So, I talk, like whenever I talk to Tay Evans, for example, Tay is one of my really good friends. And, I tell him I completely understand what he's doing because, there's more to life than just football. Football is a great game. We all love it. We have fun. And, of course, majority of us want to make a career out of it. But if it comes down to it, you have to think about life, over that type of stuff.
How did, when you would talk to Tay about that, I mean, like you said, you guys are all aware of the science that's out there, I'm assuming. How did he take that? I mean, I still think that had to be a tough thing for him to wrap his head around that this is it.
It was definitely tough, but I mean, like I try to surround him. I know a lot of other teammates try to surround themselves with the people that have chosen to go ahead and quit football because of concussion. So we all understand. They understand. Of course, it's very hard on them, but all we can do is just keep on, basically harping on how important it is, and basically, we still care about you. You're still here for the team.
Stephen, are you aware? I guess my question is: are you very aware that could be you? Are other players very aware that could be them? Or do you have to work hard to just not be aware of that? Put it out of your mind. It's no way to think if you're going to play.
I mean, no player wants to really just think about getting hurt. No player wants to think about tearing their ACL or getting a concussion or anything. You just keep on playing. But if it has to happen and it comes down to that situation, then yes, you start thinking about, life or keep on playing football, and I could possibly end up, getting very much injured, myself. So it's just one of those things. You just try not to think about it, but when it happens, then you'll come down to it.
How do you grapple with that as a guy who, has devoted much of your life to this game you love, knowing that this game has also become part of kind of this nationwide epidemic in a way?
I mean, honestly, with the game that I love, I mean, you pray that you don't get hurt. You pray that no one gets hurt, but, stuff happens. It's football, and we all know that as one, as a team and just as a player, we all kind of just know that. But, you know, for us, you know, of course it's going to be hard to quit football or anything like that.
Steven, you guys have had pretty much 2 road games to, you know, start Big 12 play. Where's your confidence right now?
I feel like our confidence is up pretty high. I mean, of course, we're not gonna stop practicing hard or anything like that. We got to keep on going, getting better each and every day, each and every practice. So I think that's our role right now, and I think everyone is basically on the same coaster, if you know what I mean.